had this idea like 3 years ago, and once the idea came to me, it just wouldn't let go. And so now, 3 years later, I had some anxiety at the beginning as to whether I would be able to do it. I'm 80, going on 81 pretty soon. Came to the high desert in 1960. It's just something I feel I need every so often. I've just got to get out and get on a big, wide landscape like this.
We had heard about the amazing wildlife habitat in this Hart-Sheldon region and how important the land between the refuges is. So the three of us decided to go see it for ourselves. We're hiking for 5 days. We're going to cover about 50 miles or more. We started in Sheldon Wildlife Refuge, just down in Nevada. And we're going to follow the pronghorn migration route up to Hart Mountain Refuge. I'm really happy today that we're actually here doing this. It's taken a lot of planning and some hard hiking. We still got some hard hiking ahead of us. Where we started is protected. Where we will end up is protected for wildlife, but the area between is not.
Unfortunately, I've been to this area of it so much before and it's some of the more depressing stuff in this corridor, some of the stuff we need to address that needs some protection and some help. And
we want to see the places that need help.
So back in the 1930s, Hart Mountain and Sheldon Refuges got designated with a primary focus on antelope. I do know that originally, in the original proposal that came from President Roosevelt, this 20-mile corridor was included. And somehow, this piece got trimmed out, and it ended up being 2 separate refuges.
Both Sheldon and Hart Mountain Refuges provide terrific habitat for pronghorn antelope, but we know now that they constantly use this land in between. It's all connected. But what we don't know is what the future holds for this area, because it doesn't have a plan that manages specifically for pronghorn and other wildlife.
And it wasn't until collaring studies that we learned that this corridor between Hart and Sheldon and extending over here to Beatty Butte is a significant part of the life cycle of the antelope. And this complex, the Hart-Sheldon complex and the land between, have been identified by Fish and Wildlife as one of the 6 most significant intact ecosystems in the entire West for the long-term survival of greater sage-grouse.
2 more days and it will be over.
Ah, I know, and you realize we're silly enough we're going to be sad when it's over.
We are.
I know.
And at the end, when we sit in that hot tub at Hart Mountain, we're going to be so silly.
Some people think we're silly already.
But what do they know?
That's right. They're not sitting here in the hot sun on the dusty road.
I don't know what it is that makes the high desert seem so magical to me.
Oh, that is delightful.
I guess it must just be the combination of the starry nights, the experiences with wildlife, all of that wrapped up together. I don't know that I can explain it.
You'll notice that all we have growing here is a bunch of mustard, and you don't see any of those native grasses like we saw just across the road. And so this has been impacted pretty heavily. Parts of this corridor are very, very impacted by those weeds, and they're a huge threat. They create ideal conditions for hot, nasty fires.
Yeah, that's coyote.
There is an urgency to protecting this country, and I don't think its remoteness does that adequately. I used to believe that that was adequate protection, that all we have to do to take care of this landscape is just don't tell too many people about it. But I no longer believe that, and we have seen examples of exactly how true that is. And so I would urge people to get involved. Even if you can't come here this year or even next year, You might want to make darn sure this place persists so that you can get here someday.
My aha moment in this whole hike has been really understanding how connected these places are, that it's one continuum. The refuges are in great shape, they're really healthy. The land in between is in varying states of health. And, you know, having seen that, I really feel like the land in between really needs to be managed for wildlife.
You know, politically, I don't know what the best way to protect this land between is, but what I want to absolutely know is that antelope will always be able to flow across this landscape, and sage grouse will always be able to gather on their leks and do their wonderful, wonderful mating dances. And all the other little critters too, that they'll find what they need here and that this ecosystem will remain healthy.
These great big open spaces can't be replicated. Once they're gone, they're gone.
The delicate little desert flowers that catch at the hem of spring and are gone. They care not whether they be seen or praised. They blossom unto life perfectly and unto death perfectly, leaving nothing unsaid. They say to the whispering breezes that overleap them, "Stay a moment, brother, plunder us of our passion. Our day is short, but our beauty is eternal." Wish I could write something like that.